Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here for our January 27th meeting of the Executive Nominations Committee. This is our first meeting of the 447th legislative session. So pleased to be here along with my colleague, Vice Chair Muse will be joining us shortly. We have a busy agenda with many judges and other important folks coming forward, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. We've had some requests, so we're going to try to navigate some of the requests along with the schedule. I know some folks are still waiting for some family to come as well. We're going to start with someone who all of our colleagues on this committee are familiar with, and start with former Senator Jill Carter. It's good to see you again. And this is for the number 17, which is the Maryland State Board of Contract Appeals. It's always good to have you back. Once a senator, always a senator. And in her first official duty as a new senator, as a newly minted senator, we have Senator Attar here to present Senator Jill Carter to us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, I guess now I can say colleagues. I have the distinct honor to present to you our former senator, my former senator, Senator Jill Carter. Now, I don't have to tell you all why she's great for this position, but what I do want to tell you is I worked side by side with her for now about 7 years, and I've seen her dedication to her work, just what an honest person she is, and something else about her, she comes from a legacy that she's from her father, she passes it on, she continues, and she just has this work ethic like no other person. She is someone who goes in front of you and does what's right. Now, you may not always agree that that's what's right, but she'll do what she believes is the right thing. So without further ado, I present my former senator and a good friend, Senator Jill Carter.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Senator Delia Attar. It's nice to be able to say that. Mr. Chair and distinguished members of the Executive Nominations Committee, it's an honor to be before you. I'm very thankful for this trust in me that Governor Moore has instilled. I promise, upon your support, your confirmation, to uphold the values of the board with integrity, transparency, and efficiency. I'm very much looking forward to this opportunity. Many people don't realize that early in my career, I was a lawyer, and I represented contractors in bid protests and other procurement issues. And so I'm kind of sort of going back home to sort of my roots, and I'm very excited about it. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
President Ferguson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and just would like to second, third, fourth, and fifth the nomination of my friend and our former colleague, and just so thankful for our work together in the Senate and your time in the House and moving forward. So sad that you're here, or sad that you are moving on past, but I am so thrilled that you're excited about this opportunity and can't wait to see you excel in it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Reedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I didn't have the opportunity. There were so many people on the Senate floor, I didn't have the opportunity, but I just wanted to say I'm confident that if someone's trying to pull one over, you're going to call them out in this position. And it's very important. It's not a partisan position, obviously. It's an important position to safeguard fairness in our state contracting and make sure that everybody's above board and give people an opportunity, of course, to appeal if they think something's wrong. So I know you'll do a great job. And, you know, every once in a while, you and I would agree on something. We disagreed a lot on issues, but we always had a great time debating. And I know you'll do what you think is right and have a good reason for it. So congratulations on the appointment.
Thank you. I'll miss our spirited debates.
Any other questions for Senator Carter? Certainly appreciate working with you. Also didn't have the opportunity earlier, but always one, as Senator Attar has mentioned, who always stands up for what you believe is right. And I know you'll carry that forward as your mantra to the work that you do on the Board of Contract Appeals. Sometimes we were the only ones that voted on a certain issue some ways, but you know, I think that's a recognition of your leadership and fortitude on so many different important issues. And so I want to thank you for your continued service to the state. I know we have a move to approve by the Senate President. Do we have a second? Okay. All right. Sounds good. Any other questions for Senator Carter?
All right, thank you
Not,
very much.
thank you so much. I think- Our colleagues here are very trigger happy to want to vote, so. All right. Next, we are going to bring forward the judges. And for the judges, we do swear them in under oath. So if we can have the judges stand up, and our counsel will proceed with the oath.
I can ask you to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear under the penalties of perjury that the statements you make and the testimony you give before this committee will be the truth and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And bear with us because we were going to try to do this a little bit on the fly to make some scheduling changes to accommodate some senators and some other of the judges that are coming forward. We're going to start with number 8. And this is District Court, Montgomery County, District 6. And this is Ms. Holly David Reed III. Mr. Holly David Reed III. And this is Senator Zucker's constituent. So, Senator Zucker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, distinguished members of the Executive Nominations Committee. It is just my absolute pleasure to be here with my friend Holly Reed. He and I have known each other for, 23 years, and he's been on the bench since 2015, and before that, he was the head of his own law firm. But one of the things that I mentioned to him before coming up here is often I can speak endlessly about the great stuff he's done around mental health and against domestic violence, but really I just wanted to quickly talk about the type of person that he is. He's just a great guy, new grandfather, but just what we want to see on the bench: calm, deliberate, appreciates the law, and I couldn't be happier to be here with my friend Holly Reed. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Judge Reed.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, good evening, members of the Senate Executive Nominations Committee. First of all, I'm, as you said, Judge Holly Reed, and I'm here with my wife of 39 years, Jody Reed. Jody, stand up, please. She's taking a picture. 39 years. We got married while I was in law school. And my mother's here also. Where's my mom? She's here with me also. So I've served on the District Court for Montgomery County since January 6, 2015. I also serve on the Maryland's Judicial Council's Specialty Courts and Dockets Committee since 2019, and I'm a member of the Mental Health Court, as Craig said. It's an honor to serve the citizens of Montgomery County, especially since I've lived in Montgomery County since I was 11 years old. We moved from D.C. Down by Howard University, moved to Montgomery County in 1966. Totally different environment. I've lived both in District 20 and in District 14, which is where I currently live. And I met Senator Zucker back in 2002 when we were both running for the House of Delegates. And there were 12 people that ran that year. Craig came in 4th. He just missed it. I came in 6th. He stuck with it, but I decided to move on. But the relationships that I developed meeting the people that I ran for office with, that continues to this day. So there are several members of the legislature that started back then when I did, first came on, and we still have contact with one another. But I find that being a judge is a calling, and the public, they come to me for a decision on the issues. So for example, when it comes to sentencing and criminal cases or money judgments in civil cases, I'm where the buck stops in the district court. I give all the parties an opportunity to be heard in detail on their day in court before making my ruling. And something that I've done from day one, I never place my robe anywhere but on a hanger. I never just throw it off to the side. It just means that much to me. I always hang my robe. And when we get new judges that come on, I gotta give them that tip also, just a respect. I always hang the robe. I'm very thankful and humbled to be where I am today, and I'm cognizant that that robe represents to my community a lot. So every morning before I take the bench, I do say a brief prayer. And sometimes I'm at my courthouse, sometimes I'm halfway down the hallway to the elevator. I'll go back to chambers, say a brief prayer before I walk into the courtroom. But one of the factors that kept me energized over the past 10 years on the bench is just trying to have a good quality of life, creating a healthy balance in handling the heavy volumes of cases, dockets, and cases that we get in Montgomery County, but also spending time with my wife and other family, and as Craig said, including my 10-month-old granddaughter, which I'm enjoying very much. This December, I'll turn 70, so I'm almost timed out. So, but hopefully, I'll still come and sit once in a while. And you know, in addition to spending time with family, my favorite sport is boating, and that's what I do on the weekend. Everything is shrink wrap right now. If you guys know boating. Again, it's an honor to stand before you today, and I thank you very much for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. Vice Chair.
Thank you very much, and good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for being here. If you can move your retirement date up till about August, I'm sure my bill that extends the years until 75 before you have to retire, give you a shot at it. Thank you, Mr. President.
I know you've tried that a few times in the past, but it went to 73 and then 75.
I have faith this time.
Okay.
Amen.
All right, this may be the year. We'll see. Any other questions for Judge Reed? If not, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Craig.
We're going to go to the top of the list and go to number 1. This is the District Court of Anne Arundel County, and this is District 7, Senator Simonaire. Senator Simonaire could not be here today, but he did send a letter to the committee, which I will read to be able to introduce Judge Robinson. And this is the letter from Senator Simonaire. I'm pleased to recommend the confirmation of Ms. Laura Marie Robinson for her reappointment as judge of the District Court of Maryland, District 7, Anne Arundel County. Given her previous experience and resume highlighting her legal experience in several distinguished appointments for the state of Maryland over the past 14 years, I believe Ms. Robinson would be deserving of this reappointment. I hope that you will give her your most favorable consideration. And with that, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairman Lamb, Vice Chair Muse, Senate President Ferguson, members of the Executive Nominations Committee. Thank you for your time and efforts on my behalf. It has been an honor to serve as an Associate Judge on the District Court of Maryland for the last 10 years. I also thank Governor Moore for the confidence that he has shown to me in this reappointment. I hope that this committee and the Senate will view my nomination favorably. I would like to thank Chief Morrissey, my administrative judge, Judge Spencer, and Judge Miller for their support here of me tonight. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. And again, I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for Judge Robinson? All right, thank you.
If I may be excused. Thank you.
Next, we'll proceed to number 2 on the list. This is the District Court of Baltimore City, District 1, and we will bring forward Judge Marnell Allen Cooper, who will be introduced by President Ferguson.
All right, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the committee, it's a pleasure to be here with you this evening with somebody, for those of us in the city, is no stranger whatsoever, Marnell Cooper. Judge Marnell Cooper previously served as the chair of the Baltimore City School Board, having served on the board itself from 2012 through 2017, through really quite an interesting time for the school system, going from our 21st Century School Facilities Initiative to changes in leadership to kind of all the ups and downs that come with a school board. And there was no one who was more professional, more thoughtful, more dedicated to the outcomes for kids than Marnell Cooper, and all while having his own law practice on the side. He is truly an exceptional person who I've had the honor of working with very closely for many years, and I'm very thrilled to see him nominated by the governor this year to serve for the District Court of in Baltimore City. So without further ado, Judge Marnell Cooper.
Thank you. Chair Lamb, Vice Chair Muse, President Ferguson, distinguished members of the Executive Nominating Committee, I thank Governor Moore for having the confidence in me to appoint me to the District Court for Baltimore City. I thank all of the individuals, some are sitting around this table, others around Baltimore City and the state who have supported this nomination. I thank Judge Morrissey, who is here in my support today, along with my admin judge, Judge Hanger. I will do my best to fulfill my duties as a jurist in Baltimore City, and I thank you for your time and attention, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Judge Cooper? Senator Sidnor.
No question, but just a comment to you. I went to school with this young man, and he's a real good person, and the type of person that you would want to see on the bench. So that was all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Any other questions for Judge Cooper? If not, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we'll proceed to number 3 on the list. This is the District Court of Baltimore County, District 8. And we will have Senator Hettleman come forward. I'm going to ask you to come to the table because our camera is not working for the podium right now. So if you want to come to the table, Senator Hettleman, you're presenting Judge Kevin Von Thomas Wiggins for District 8 District Court.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. President, members of the committee. I'm very happy to introduce Judge Wiggins. We do not know each other. We just had an opportunity to chat late last week. And one of the things that I noticed immediately from Judge Wiggins is how enthusiastic he is about being a public servant. He was a former prosecutor before he took the bench 10 years ago. He views his job as overseeing the People's Court and loves the variety of the kinds of different cases that come before him every day and takes this job, it was obvious to me, very seriously. So without further ado, I present Judge Kevin Wiggins.
Thank you. Good evening. I want to acknowledge Chairperson Senator Lamb, Vice Chair Senator Muse, Senate President Senator Ferguson, and I want to thank all the members of the committee. I want to start off, I'll keep my comments brief. I want to thank Governor Moore for reappointing me to still serve citizens of the state of Maryland. It is a life's journey for me, something I love to do, and I just appreciate the opportunity to be able to do that again. Thank you for your time. I'm ready for any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? Senator Sidnor.
It's rare that you now see two peers of yours. So Judge Cooper, he graduated 2 years after me, and I believe Judge Wiggins would have been a year before me, 99, right? So again, another great product of the University of Maryland School of Law.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it.
Great, thank you. Any other questions for Judge Thomas Wiggins? Seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being here. We're going to, if it's okay, skip ahead to Justice Kilo. If the timing's okay for you there? Okay, all right. So he is coming forward for the Supreme Court of Maryland. Let's see, do we have Senator Washington? Oh, there we go. Senator Washington, if you want to come forward to introduce Justice Kilo for the Supreme Court of Maryland.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The judge is going to present himself. I haven't had an opportunity to meet with him yet, so I'm giving it up to the judge now. Here's Judge Kilo.
Thank you. Good afternoon, President Ferguson, Chairman Lamb, and members of the committee. Thank you for this opportunity to present my qualifications for the Supreme Court of Maryland. And thank you, Senator Washington, for the introduction. I've been sitting on the Supreme Court now for nearly 6 months. I've heard argument in at least 28 cases. Each case presented me with unique challenges, and I thoroughly enjoyed the intellectual challenge the Supreme Court cases provide. I am proud to state that I have authored my first public opinion, Hollins versus State, and that I have actively contributed to numerous soon-to-be published majority and dissenting opinions. I want to express my deepest gratitude to Governor Moore for appointing me to the Supreme Court. I also want to thank the governor's staff and his legal counsel. I want to thank the Prince George's County State Senate delegation for their support, and I'm proud to call them my senators. I want to thank my esteemed colleagues on the Supreme Court, particularly Chief Justice Matthew Fader. Their warm welcome and seamless support during my transition have been invaluable. Finally, I want to express my sincere gratitude to my wife, Jamila Larson, who's in the back. Can my wife stand up, please? And two of my children, Oliver and Violet. You don't want to stand up? You know, my wife, Jamila, is a prominent social worker, and she has single-handedly, I believe, transformed the lives of numerous Prince George's County citizens through her charitable works. I also have two adult children who cannot be here today. Hopefully they're watching on the internet. Max, my oldest son, is in the military. He's in special operations. He's in training for special operations. And my daughter, Juliet, who I think is a rising star in the tech sector. I am humbled and honored to have been chosen by the governor to serve as a justice of the Maryland Supreme Court. It is a privilege and an honor to represent the people of my community, Prince George's County, and to follow in the footsteps of, I believe, legal giants and Judges Glenn Harrell and Michelle Houghton. I'm aware that I have big shoes to follow, but I am confident that I am up for the challenge. I'm happy to address any questions you might have regarding my qualifications. Thank you for your attention.
Questions? We'll start with Senator Hershey.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'm happy to second the nomination for Justice Kelo. I may have had some initial concerns early on, but Justice Kelo was very proactive and initiated a meeting together. And I think after a long conversation, I think we both realized we had more in common than we had differences. And I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And I think the governor has made an excellent choice for Justice Kelo to be on the Maryland Supreme Court. So thanks.
Thank you, Senator. Excellent.
Thank you. Any other questions for Justice Kelo? All right, seeing none. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. May I be excused?
You are excused.
All right, thank you.
We're going to go back on the list to number 4. This is the, oh, sorry. I guess we have Senator Washington still here. Maybe we should try to finish the ones that are with him. So let's go to number 13. This is Judge Laura Joy Novello. And we'll have Senator Washington come up to introduce her. It's constituent of District 22.
Hey. How you doing? Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Senator Alonzo Washington here to very much happy, even more happy to present this judge before you all. This is Judge Laura Novello, who has been serving as an associate judge in the District Court of Maryland for Prince George's County since November 14, 2024, such a long time ago. Judge Novello's legal career is marked by diverse and extensive experience. She began as an assistant state's attorney in Baltimore City, followed by a 12-year tenure with the Maryland Office of the Public Defender in Prince George's County, where she rose to the position of district court supervisor. In 2022, she transitioned to the role of associate county attorney in the litigation division of the Prince George's County Office of Law. For these reasons, I'm honored to present to you Judge Laura Novello.
Thank you, Senator Washington. And thank you to Senator Lamb, Senator Muse, and Senate President Ferguson, all other members of the Executive Nominations Committee. I would like to thank Governor Moore for appointing me. I am extremely happy and privileged to be here. I look forward to serving the citizens of Prince George's County should I get your confirmation vote, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any questions for Judge Novello? Seeing none, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Senator Washington, don't leave yet. We have one more. This is number 15 on the list, and this is, oh, okay. This is Judge Ann Louise Wagner-Stewart. The podium camera, I've been told, is now working, so you can go back to the podium. And Senator Washington, go ahead and introduce Judge Wagner-Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Senator Alonzo Washington here to present Judge Ann Wagner, an associate judge in the District Court of Maryland for Prince George's County since 2014. Her dedication has earned numerous accolades, including the Governor's Victim Assistance Award for her integrity, service, and unwavering commitment to justice. I am honored to present to you Judge Ann L. Wagner. Of course.
All right, good evening, Chairman Lamb, Vice Chairman Muse, Senator, or President of the Senate Ferguson, and all of the distinguished members of this committee. It is my honor to be here tonight before you asking for your confirmation. It has been my honor and privilege to serve for the past 10 years on the District Court for Prince George's County. For the last several years, I serve now as the coordinating judge for our mental health court in the District Court for Prince George's County. I also serve on the specialty courts docket, and I am the chair of the behavioral health subcommittee. So I've had a lot of experience now learning new areas that I did not know before I took the bench, but it is my absolute privilege to continue that service, I hope, and finish my career on the district court. And I want to thank both my administrative judge, Lisa Hall Johnson, for coming here in support, and also Chief Judge Morrissey. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great, thank you so much. Any questions for Judge Wagner-Stewart? Seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We're going to go to number 4 on the list. This is District Court for Dorchester County, District 2. I see Senator Mouts here, here to introduce Judge Melvin James Jews for reappointment to the District Court.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. President, and members of the Executive Nominations Committee. It's always a pleasure to be here. This is an exciting day because I am presenting the Honorable Melvin James Jews for reappointment to the District Court of Maryland for District 2, Dorchester County. And it's an exciting day for me personally. I want to share it with everyone, but Judge Jews is not just a judge for reappointment. Judge Jews is an institution. He grew up, was born in Cambridge, grew up in Cambridge, has gone through, as you'll see through his bio, his legal career, and has returned to Cambridge as a district court judge. And as a district court judge in Cambridge, he's been more than a judge. He's been an institution throughout the community. An example of taking the court out into the communities, he established the first regional veterans court on the Eastern Shore. He's been inspirational in so many different ways. So with that, I'd present Judge Jews for the committee, and I move his favorable nomination. Judge Jews.
Thank you, Senator Motz, and good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, and President. This is a great opportunity. First, I'd like to introduce my younger son. My older son was not able to make it, but Malcolm, would you stand, please? This is my younger son. He's a giant. He's tall. You can stand all the way up. Yeah. But I want to thank initially also Governor Martin O'Malley for the appointment and Governor Moore for the reappointment, and thanking each and every one of you for the opportunity to show up here. You know, we take these jobs serious, and I want to thank my chief who's here. He just left Cambridge Friday, and so he's a great supporter of mine. I also happen to be the administrative judge as well for District 2, so I have 5 courthouses to try to manage in the one that I have. But I operate out of a courthouse with 1 courtroom. I'm the only judge in a small town. So I know everybody. Everybody knows me. So it's like you can't just get away from giving people access to justice. That's important. It might sound like an old-fashioned idea that people know that when they come into the courtroom, they're going to be treated with dignity and respect. And we certainly do that, all of us, all of the judges. And it starts from the top. And I have to give Chief Judge Morrissey a lot of credit for that because of his leadership. And thank you, Chief Judge Morrissey, for being here. He came to my courthouse the other day with the Chief Justice and spent time with us there. And I thank him for the programs that we've been able to do at Dorchester County. One, we were the first court in the state to have a regional veterans treatment court to serve these men and women that have served this country. The first in the state, and now we're a model across the state to have a specialty court for veterans. We also have expanded our drug court. Now, can you imagine one courtroom, one judge with these specialty courts, because I believe in treatment for the problems of dealing with substance abuse and mental health. We work diligently at that. And I give Chief Judge Morrissey a lot of credit, too. We have the expungement program in our courthouse, too, to deal with cannabis, you know, to make sure we have jobs. So I certainly ask you all to come to the Eastern Shore as much as possible and spend as much money as you can, especially in Dorchester County, to help our economy there. And I just ask that you all accept me and encourage me, come to the Eastern Shore as much as possible. We work hard. We are committed to making sure that we treat people fairly and that they see fairness when they hit the door, starting with the bailiffs all the way through. They were going to treat people with dignity and respect. We don't care whether you're rich or poor, black or white, it makes no difference. Everyone gets treated fairly with dignity and respect, and that's important. That's the face of the court now. It has changed over the last 50, 60 years, and that's what we represent, and that's what I represent. Now, and I'm not sure, Senator, whether I'll be around to take advantage of the 75 or not, as you're proposing. I might be able to do it. Okay, I appreciate that, but I want to thank you and ask that if any of you will have any questions, I'll certainly entertain that. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that perspective.
Yes, thank you.
Any questions
Yes.
for the judge, for Judge Hughes?
Thank
You so much. We appreciate it. I'm going to call forward some folks that I know the senators are here for. And we'll start with Senator Hester. This is number 6 on your list. Calling forward Judge Wayne Allen Brooks for reappointment to the District Court of Maryland, District 10 in Howard County.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. For the record, Senator Katie Fry Hester. I am honored today to introduce the Honorable Wayne Allen Brooks, nominated to serve as the District Administrative Judge of Howard County. Judge Brooks has served as Associate Judge for the court since 2014, where he assumed several roles, such as Chair of the District Court, Alternative Dispute Resolution Subcommittee, and the Judicial Council of the District Court Chief Judges Committee. Judge Brooks brings a wealth of experience to the role, having worked in fields like environmental resources, mental health, and administrative law. We spoke briefly last night. He lives in Ellicott City. He has 3 grown children and 7 grandkids. And it became very obvious to me that he's just really committed to the community and has served as coach for youth sports and chaired various community boards. And so with that, I would like to present to you the Honorable Judge Brooks. Thank you.
Good evening, Chairman Lamb. Good evening to my frat brother, Vice Chair Muse, to the Senate President, Mr. Ferguson. I want to thank the Governor for this appointment. And in the fine tradition of this august body, when all that has been said, that needs to be said, has been said, the best thing to say is ditto. Any questions? I'm happy to answer.
Any questions for Judge Brooks? Very succinct testimony. Vice Chair.
Although we have persons on this, and good evening, on this wonderful committee who are of other persuasions when it comes to, they got some Qs and got some others, you know.
And that's a shame,
but thank you for being a part of the most popular one that there is. And I'm very proud of you, and I wish you well. You'll be around when the 75-year bill kicks in. Oh, man.
All right. Any other questions for Judge Brooks? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you
for
all.
being here. I'm going to go to number 5 now. This is a district for Garrett County to allow Judge Moylan to be able to make his way back back to Garrett County, which is a fair amount of distance away. So I'm going to have Senator McKay come up to present Judge Stephen Martin Moylan for the District Court of Maryland, District 12, Garrett County.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Thank you, Mr. President, and members of this committee. It is my profound honor to introduce Judge Moylan. He's being reappointed. He was appointed to the bench on June 16th, 2014. Some of his highlights of judicial accomplishments are that he worked closely with the Garrett County Detention Center to introduce pretrial services program in 2023. He participated as a member of the initial offering of Project ECHO in 2022 and worked tirelessly to advocate for the alternative dispute resolution program. I have the deepest confidence in his ability and character to be reappointed to the District Court of Maryland for Garrett County. My fellow committee members, Judge Moylan.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much, Senator McKay. And I thank you, Senator Lamb and Senator Muse, Senator Ferguson. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. And it is much warmer here than it is in Garrett County. It's been really cold, and we have at least 2 feet of snow on the ground. I want to point out that my Annapolis family is here. My wife is a public defender, and she's hard at work, and she's going to be working tomorrow. She's not here. My boys are away at school. But if my Annapolis family could stand up, my sister-in-law, Kelly, my nephew, Michael, my mother-in-law, Nancy, are here, and they're my Annapolis family. And also with me is a family friend that grew up with my boys, Lilia Rose, who works for Delegate Joe Vogel on the other side. But she came over just to be a witness and support me here today. And I appreciate everybody coming here to support me. It is a fun day. We're going to go out to dinner and have a good time here in Annapolis. The restaurants, well, we have really good restaurants in Garrett County, but it's a little more like mashed potatoes and turkey and gravy. So we're going to get something better than that tonight. And I appreciate my chief judge being here, supporting me. He always supports us. He does visit Garrett County in the summertime. But we understand that we are different. And I want you to think about that because I just feel like sometimes we're almost Maryland, and I want Garrett County to get everything that everybody else gets. The last thing I want to say is my friend Lisa Gladden was here last time when I was here, and I miss her. And she was a great inspiration to me, and wanted me to be this district court judge, which, as it turns out, is my calling. Any questions?
Any questions for Judge Moylan?
Thank you, Senator McKay.
Okay.
Thank you again.
All right, thank you so much. Safe travels back to cold Garrett County. Next, I see Senator Jackson there behind the podium. If you want to come forward, oh, there, you've moved. We will go to your constituents next. I think next we have Judge Brian Charles Denton, who's a constituent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, and members of the Executive Nominations Committee. Actually moved from behind the podium so that you would see me, and then you didn't see me in the seat. But that's okay. That's cool. This evening, I'm honored to be here. I have 2 nominees tonight for reappointment. It's an honor for me because I've known both of them well. It's like an old home week for me. They came out of the courthouses of Prince George's County. So I am truly honored. First up tonight, Judge Denton. Judge Denton spent the entirety of his career as a public defender. So our system is the system in the world that's Many folks are trying to duplicate it or emulate it, but it's the system that makes folks whole. And you can only be made whole if you have positive, reinforced representation on both sides. So we do appreciate all you've done over your career, Judge, and I am honored to be able to stand before the committee tonight to recommend your reappointment. Yep.
Chairman Senator Lamb, Vice Chairman Senator Muse, Senate President Ferguson, thank you for this opportunity to speak. I want to thank you all for what I think has been a wonderful career. I actually was the only, I think, district public defender to do 3 different places. I did it in southern Maryland counties. I did it here in this wonderful county here in Anne Arundel, here in Annapolis, and I did it in Prince George's County, and I did actually do some private practice first. So this 40 years I've been in public service, and it's been actually my pleasure to serve, and I'm so grateful to have had this opportunity. I was kind enough to be reappointed by Governor Moore, and I'm so happy to be here. And I have any questions, I'd be happy to speak to you all about them.
Any questions for Judge Denton? Seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate being here. Senator Jackson, another one of your constituents. This is Judge Katina Self-Stewart, and her reappointment to the District Court of Maryland, District 5 in Prince George's County.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, President of the Senate, and members of the Executive Nominations Committee. I am once again honored to nominate for reappointment another judge from Prince George's County. Again, I've been honored to have had the opportunity to work with them over the years. Judge Stewart has served in the State's Attorney's Office, as well as served at one point in time as the Assistant Acting Chief of the District Court Division while she was in the State's Attorney's Office, but she was also a part of the Domestic Violence Division, amongst many others, domestic violence during my tenure. While I served in Prince George's County, was something that we all worked together to help eradicate in Prince George's County, as well as the state of Maryland. She also served as a clerk for Judge Lamassey on the Circuit Court. She was appointed in 2015 as an associate judge for the District Court. She's spent a short time as in the office of the General Counsel for the United States Department of Veterans Affairs as General Counsel, which is something that, again, we have something in common. For a short period of time, I was the chair of the Veterans Caucus here. All in all, again, it is vital. We spoke about a public defender to ensure that those who need representation were represented properly. It's also vital that we have judges who uphold the rule of law and make sure that everyone gets a fair shake. And that we are so proud to nominate you for reappointment tonight. All right, cool.
All right, good evening, greetings. Chairman Lamb, Vice Chairman Muse, Senate President Ferguson, distinguished members of the committee, good evening. Thank you for having me here today. Also wanted to thank Governor Moore for his confidence in my reappointment. I am happy to continue to serve the District Court for Prince George's County, Maryland. Thank you so much to Senator Jackson for introducing me. And many thanks to my incredibly hardworking administrative judge, Lisa Hall Johnson, who's here to support me, as well as our District Court Chief, John Morrissey. Happy to serve another 10 years, and I hope that you will cast that vote my way. I am happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions for Judge Stewart? Seeing none, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I see Senator Benson is here, so we will proceed to number 10. This is the reappointment of Judge Clayton Anthony Ahrens, constituent District 24. This is for the District Court of Maryland, District 5 in Prince George's County.
Good evening, members of this wonderful committee. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chair, Mr. President, and members of this committee. 10 years ago, I brought to your attention a gentleman who has done an impeccable job in Prince George's County. We didn't make a mistake then, and I'm going to ask that you consider him for continuing another 10 years as the judge of the District Court of Maryland. I must tell you all that one of the things that I find most exciting about this wonderful judge is that he has not kept his goodness to himself. He, as you all know, I am an educator, and he has spent many hours working in our schools, volunteering with our children, just doing all kinds of wonderful things in Prince George's County to encourage our children to get their education and to reach for the stars. He has a wonderful wife that I know very, very well. She and I work together in the Prince George's County public schools. But his resume speaks for itself. It tells you the kind of person that we're looking at standing here to my left. He is fair, he is honest, he has integrity, he is razor focused on the agenda in Prince George's County because he's about the business of saving our youngsters. But he just doesn't deal with the youngsters in Prince George's County. He also sits with parents and he's active in his church. And the story goes on and on and on about this wonderful, wonderful public servant. And that's exactly what he is. He's a marvelous father. He has just done a wonderful job and has represented us well in the judicial system. And so I am honored, I am delighted and excited to present to you tonight the name of this wonderful, wonderful gentleman by the name of Clayton Anthony Aarons for the District Court of Maryland, District 5 of Prince George's County, a wonderful, outstanding public servant and who has done an impeccable job and who has represented us well in the judicial system. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Senator Benson. Good evening, Chairman Lamb, Vice Chairman Muse, Reverend Muse, Senate President Ferguson, and members of this committee. I want to thank the governor, obviously, for reappointing me to this position again. I want to also thank God, number one, for waking me up this morning, because a lot of folks didn't wake up this morning. So we need to thank God every day. It has been a wonderful experience for me to serve in District 5. I have a wonderful administrative law judge. I'm not law judge, administrative judge for District 5, Lisa Johnson. And my beautiful wife of 44 years is sitting over there. She was here with me in the beginning. She's still here today. So I guess I'm doing some things right. The most exciting thing I think that has happened to both of us in my tenure that I've been a district court judge is the fact that we now have 2 grandchildren, 1 boy, 1 girl. So one is 3 years old and one is 6 years old. So that's the joy of my life and the pride that we have in our 3 children, and now to have 2 grandchildren as well. I thank you for your attention, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you for coming, and good to see you again. Are you near 75 at home?
Not quite.
No.
I have some time left.
Then I can tell that you support that bill, and I would just ask if you would send a personal letter to my chairman, to send a personal letter to let him know you support that. I will be grateful for that. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
so very much. I'm
All right.
proud of you. Amen.
Thank you. Any further questions for Judge Aarons? If not, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
to present Judge Claude DeVasty Jones. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair, members of the committee. Pleased to be here to present Ms. Claude DeVasty Jones for confirmation to the Maryland District Court in Howard County. Ms. Jones has been a member of the Maryland Bar since 1998 and has extensive legal experience throughout the state. She's clerked in the chambers for the Honorable Wanda Hurd and also spent 19 years in total combined in both Howard and Anne Arundel County State's Attorney's offices, where she worked on a variety of criminal legal matters and supervised many other trial attorneys as well. Ms. Jones up until recently, worked as an associate at Carney, Callahan, Brester, Bennett, and Schur, where she litigated cases involving employment, torts, and educational matters. She's been a real leader in our community and would be a real asset to our Howard County District Court and to our state. With that, let me present Ms. Jones.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Lamb, also Chair Lamb. Thank you, Vice Chair Muse, President Senate President Ferguson, and to all the members of the Executive Nomination Committee. It is a real honor. I'm very honored by the governor's appointment to the District Court bench. I'm honored to serve the citizens of Howard County and the state of Maryland. I'm thankful for the support of my husband, Jerry Jones, who's here today, an Assistant Attorney General with the state, and to my administrative judge, who also happened to be here today, Judge Brooks, and to Chief Judge Morrissey for being here in support of my nomination. And I am welcome any questions if you have any for me.
Any questions to the committee for Judge Jones? Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you so much again.
I'm sorry, there is one.
Thank you. And just so that I'm clear, you, this is your first nomination to be here?
That is correct.
Okay. Would you mind just sharing with us what you believe is your judicial philosophy?
My judicial philosophy, I think it's just that in the district court that everyone needs to be heard. It is their opportunity because it's the people's court. Most of the individuals who are coming in there are coming unrepresented and want to be heard, have a matter that needs to be meted out in the court system. And so my philosophy is to make sure that the individuals that come before the court are heard, and that we, as judiciary, that we do that with grace and with honor to those individuals and what they need to present before the court.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? If not, thank you so much.
Thank you again
for being here. We're going to proceed to number 9, and this is Judge Zuberi Williams. And he is a constituent of District 18, Senator Waldstreicher, who could not be here, so I'll go ahead and introduce him for the reappointment to the District Court of Maryland, District 6 in Montgomery County. Judge Williams is a 10-year veteran of the associate judge in the District Court of Maryland, has prior extensive legal experience in both the Office of Administrative Hearings here as Administrative Law Judge in the state of Maryland, and previously with the Office of the Attorney General in DC in their civil division, is active in our community, serves on multiple civic organizations and volunteer boards, and continues to teach both at Georgetown Law School and at American University. Previously had clerked for the U.S. District Court at the federal level and also with our Court of Appeals. And with that, let me pass it along to Judge Williams.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for Senator Lamb, Muse, and Senate President Ferguson as well. Brevity is the hallmark of great advocacy, so I'm going to be very brief. There's only 3 things that I kind of want to say. First, I want to give honor to God. Without him, I wouldn't be here today. He's been a real friend in my life, and I appreciate that a lot of the things that I've done in my very young age has been because of him. I'm one of the folks who got on, I was appointed at 35, got on at 36. 10 years later, I'm now 46. And so I enjoy being the youngest on the Montgomery County, and I'm the second youngest judge still, even after 10 years. And so I appreciate that, and I know for me, he's got a plan for me. Number 2, I want to ask the folks that came here on my behalf to stand up. You guys see in the back, stand up. This is my beautiful group of folks. Right on the left-hand side, we have Kaylee Butler, who's one of my interns, who is going to law school next year. Folks know that I did a really expansive program with the ABA, with Facebook and Google, and helped revolutionize some of what they do. And she was a big part of that as well. My beautiful wife, Samantha Thompson. I'm wearing this here because she's from Detroit, and we went to see the Commanders play Detroit last week. And so I wear it as kind of just a bastion of letting her know that the Commanders rocked the city last week, not necessarily this week. But without her, I wouldn't be anywhere. Right here we have my exceptional child, Silas. Silas Williams, he has he's Rubenstein Tabby, so he's nonverbal, and he's been a real success. He's moving into the 9th grade. He signs, as you guys can see, and he's been a part of my humbling experience right here for Montgomery County and the state of Maryland. We have Cora. Cora, raise your hand high. There we go, my little Cora. She is 7 years old. She keeps me on my toes all the time, one of the smartest kids that I've ever met, and hopefully she will light the world on fire. Additionally, we have right here Xavier. Xavier got a cell phone, 10-year-old, got a cell phone for Christmas, and so he's responsible for recording everything. And then, of course, we have my beautiful sister. This is Zainabu Williams. This is my youngest sister, she works for the State Department. She happens to be back here in the United States for a year, decided to come out and see her older brother, and she's marvelous. She's learning French. She knows every language. She's been in Japan, South Africa, Ghana, and she's a world traveler, so she keeps my eyes open to what our responsibility is, not just here in Maryland, but in the country. And they're all here, and I want to just praise them for being here. They're absolutely fantastic. Y'all can have a seat. Thank you so much. Additionally, one thing that I'm not sure you guys would know is that all the judges you saw today, most of them, are my baby judge school. When they go and try to teach us how to do things, they put us all in the same group. And most of them are Prince George's County folks. You know, raise your hand if you're in my baby judge school. I'm so happy that they're here. They have been real friends on the bench and off the bench, because I'm here to tell you, for judges, secondary trauma is real, and having friends on the bench that get it is very important. I want to give also praise to Chief Judge Morrissey, who I knew before I got on the bench, and he's been stellar and solid in every way imaginable that a young person would want in a mentor type of way. He's been very strong. Lisa Hall Johnson, you've heard her name 6 times now. That's no mistake. She is the person who's your advocate on and off the bench and helps keep you moving in the right direction. You never know all the things that people are saying about you when you're not there. And for these folks and for Lisa, I'm greatly appreciative that I found this group of a family right here in Maryland. I want to thank Governor Moore for thinking that I can do another 10 years. I appreciate that and vetting me hard. I love my job. I don't know if it's youthful energy or what it is, because I feel a little old now. But here's what I know. People are counting on us every single day. Public service, as you know, is one of the toughest things that we can possibly do, because somebody's always not going to feel that we've done them right. But here's the thing we know. Every public servant in here, the judges, the legislatures, the staff, and the aide, and everybody else, that your hearts beat strong for this state. And I'm just happy to be one part of the chorus of those hearts. I'm so very happy to be here. I'm open to any questions you may have for me.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate those remarks and a good reflection of all the service that all of us put in, and so appreciate that. And really impressed that you were initially appointed at age 35. I'm sure if the vice chair had his way, you'd be able to serve 40 years on the bench. And with that, Vice Chair.
One day you will be 75, and you probably want to send the letter as well, but I think that, okay?
I should get started now, right?
There
Get started
you go.
now. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And Senator Smith.
No, I'll just say, look, that wasn't exactly a brief presentation, but it was worth it. I don't know if it was your voice or what, but no, it was well worth it. I just want to say, look, I've watched you from afar from a very long time. I've always been very, very impressed, and I'm looking really forward to supporting your nomination. So thank you for everything you did.
I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Any other questions for Judge Williams? If not, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Keep your hearts beating. Thank you very much.
We're going to proceed next to number 12, and this is for Ms. Kimberly Lewis, who's being appointed as a judge to the District Court of Maryland, District 5 in Prince George's County. Senator Charles could not be here, but Senator Augustine is pleased to be able to introduce Ms. Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. I'm very pleased to present Judge Kimberly Lewis to you, who I got to know from our former colleague, Senator Melanie Griffith. Judge Lewis is a committed and engaged Prince Georgian. She's just a public servant who has been working tirelessly to advance justice on behalf of the citizens of Prince George's County. From her package, you can see that Judge Lewis's credentials and experience are exemplary. She's just such a tremendous public servant. She was a child support attorney where she gave a voice to the voiceless. Prior to that, she spent several years as an assistant public defender where she represented those who you may consider to be marginalized. Judge Lewis was also an adjunct professor. What you should also know is that Judge Lewis is just an extraordinarily well known for her kindness and her compassion. She has served as a house captain for Christmas in April, and I'm not sure if you all are aware of Christmas in April in Prince George's County. It's a big deal where we go and we redo homes for some of our most needy people, so I'm really grateful to her for that. And she also served Prince George's County on our Veterans Commission. And she is the daughter of a veteran and has been a volunteer throughout Prince George's County on a number of those veterans and women's issues. And I would just ask for a favorable report from our members here, and I present to you Judge Lewis.
Thank you, Senator Augustine. To the chair, Senator Clarence Lamb. To the vice chair, Senator Muse. Senate President Ferguson, and all members of the Senate Executive Nominations Committee, thank you. And of course, thank you to the great Honorable Wes Moore for trusting me with this opportunity to represent the great state of Maryland in Prince George's County. I'd like to thank my parents who could not be here today, my pastor, my church family, and Michael Davis. I definitely would like to thank my administrative judge, Lisa Hall Johnson, who is very, very supportive in many, many ways, and also the Honorable Chief Judge Morrissey. It is a pleasure to stand before you here today. It is an even greater pleasure to serve my community as a member of the District Court Bench in Prince George's County. I am happy to answer any questions that you may have for me.
Any questions for Judge Lewis? Seeing none, thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you
being
very
here.
much. Thank you. Absolutely. William and Mary. Thank you.
All right, I think that concludes the appointments that we are considering for today. We'll entertain a motion for these appointments to move forward. Vice Chair.
A motion to move all that we heard forward. Second.
Second. Senator Gazzoni, seconded. All those in favor of moving forward with all of the nominees for this evening? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. We're adjourned.
Thank you.
All right.